What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Chopping Up with P, and today I have a very special guest.
What's up, it's Ryan. I'm a senior at Towson, good friend of Pierre, and we're gonna be chopping it up.
Yes, sir. First of all, Philadelphia Eagles, what's that about? It's Cowboys all the way. I don't know about that Philadelphia Eagles shit.
Nobody right about the Cowboys, man.
This guy. All right, so today we got a topic that might start some arguments or end some relationships. I don't know about we're gonna see by the end of this conversation. So first, men think women are confusing and think men don't. Women think men don't think at all. I don't know if I agree with the second part, but maybe I do. So today we're selling it. All right, what do women and women just not understand about each other? Okay, that's the thing right here. All right, so we gotta explain yourself. All right,
Mm.
first of all, why do you think why do girls overthink everything, or why do guys overthink everything?
Why do guys overthink everything?
Yeah, or both.
Well, I think the statement is kind of true. I think, in my opinion, in my experience, I think to guys,
Hmm.
the problem and like the disconnect is certain things aren't that deep, but to girls it is that deep, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
Okay.
So to like expand upon that, a lot of times women think there's hidden meaning behind men's actions, when in reality, the guy is just like not thinking, but like to him, it's like not that serious, and he's like honestly
Okay.
like just chilling in a
Hmm.
way.
Okay. Um. Okay, but we could say the same thing about women though, because well, I mean, okay, how about it? Sometimes when you're texting someone, right, and then
Mm,
they say this, and that, you might read it because it's over the phone, so you might read it in a different tone. You might see it in a different way than she does, and or he does, because like he probably or she or he probably just trolling, right? But to you, it's like, oh damn, maybe she fucks with me, or maybe then he fucks with me. You know what I'm saying? So kind of leads to the overthinking. I think it's very brought it in relationships too, because I wanted to I say situationships because again situationships is like where you're like something but you're not. So
yeah.
you're always thinking like, is this what this means? Or is that what that means? You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
So do guys and girls overthink? I'm not really sure about that one. Yes, to a certain extent, I'll give you that. But like sometimes I'm not really sure. So,
and then
but
it could also be like a trauma thing, or like things
yeah,
that
right?
happened in the past, because
Yeah.
sometimes a behavior gets repeated, and then the other person is like, dang, am I getting manipulated again? Am I
Right?
about to get done dirty again? Is it really that serious? Or is it like you said, like, oh, I'm just trolling, or like, it could be like that. So,
Yeah. I feel you. So, why do you think guys act interested then suddenly disappear?
eh, I mean, when guys do that, they're honestly trying to get one thing. I feel like we kind of know what that is. They're not really looking for a relationship or companionship or anything like that. It's more so, I'm trying to get what I'm trying to get, and then I'm gone. So that's how that
What
happens.
causes it to lie though? Because like I can't even lie. But I think both sides lie too. Because sometimes I
Mm,
feel like even if a woman just wants that, she might lie too. I'm not saying lying is right. I'm also not saying lying is wrong, depending on what the circumstances are. But I think sometimes like, especially now more than ever, tend because if we do want that one thing, I think that's we'll obviously
mm.
focus on that. And I think just obviously we act the way we act to get that one thing, and doesn't make it right. You know what I'm saying? But it just really depends.
Yeah, it's not right at all, but
It's-
like it's terrible, honestly. But to answer
okay,
your question, why they might act that way, like, I mean, if you're trying to let's say this, say you're going like hunting or fishing or something, you're not
okay,
gonna go up to the animal and be like, hey, let me shoot you, or let me catch you with my fishing rod, and
hmm
like they're just gonna let that happen. Like
okay.
there
But
has to be
hold
some
on.
type of
What
technique
if it
or like
works?
deception.
Wait, what if it works though? Because it works for some niggas. So it's
I
like
mean,
for normal average Joe it might not work, but but for like someone who is because like because I've heard it because
yeah, I see what you're saying.
my man's be saying this all the time. I think for the right person they're going right. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying, guys.
I
So
mean, yeah, that's true.
to someone like let's say both of us go to the same person. You say a
Right.
joke, right? She's not like she don't like really fuck with you in the sense like she doesn't think you're attractive and that you're not her type. So to
Right.
you it might not work, but I might be her type, and to me and for me it might work. It's the same corny ass joke, but just because she favors me, it might work for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you know, mm,
Well, the my answer was more so like I guess for the average person or
mm-hmm,
someone that doesn't typically go for girls that are super, I don't want to say easy, but like if a guy is just coming up to you, or a guy or a girl is just coming up to you and you're going right away, that's kind of crazy.
yeah, kind of crazy.
Yeah, I understand.
But,
Like
hey,
sometimes it might work
you could be
because
going,
sometimes they like the honesty, so
yeah,
it'll work sometimes, but
yeah.
more
But
often than
well,
not, people try to lie and be manipulative
but
to
like
try to get it.
it's the thing is like is are you going? Because like okay, you're not. They say you're going right. Most of the time, we're all going, but we're going for a type. There's a difference. I think people are like don't see. We're not going for everyone. For me, we're not
Yeah,
going for everyone. My man says this all the time. We're not going for everyone. You're going for your type for sure. So
I mean, I always say like this is kind of bad, but like when you go out, if the right person say the right things, you got the right amount of
yeah,
drinks,
that's right. Yeah,
it's
I
kind of
got
over with. But
you. I'll get at you. Yeah, for sure. I got you. Okay. Why do girls test guys instead of being direct though?
hmm,
Right? And I
'cause
guess it goes so
I feel like people test people because the reaction or the outcome is more authentic.
right.
Because it's easy to ask someone, "Hey, are you talking to other people? Are you going to do me dirty? Do
Mm-hmm.
you just want this one thing from me?" But to actually like catch them in the act or like perform the test and see if they passed or failed, it kind of lets you see their true colors.
Right. So yeah, so instead of but we tend to do that a lot though. And not just everyone, because instead of like asking the question, we tend
Mm,
to like give scenarios with an underlying question underneath. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Or we tend to do this and that and then see how they react to things. It's not a bad way to go about it, but it's sometimes I feel like honesty is just, is it like this or is it like that? Some people respect that straight up question and honesty. But you also don't
Yeah.
want to make it, you also don't want to make it weird though. So it's like, you know what
And
I'm
then
saying?
it's also like sometimes it's just hard to talk about. Like
For sure.
not a lot of people, especially our age, are mature enough to kind of say what they want and what they're looking for and like actually be honest,
Hmm.
regardless of what they think the outcome might be.
Yeah.
So kind of like testing people is a way around that, having like the serious, awkward, hard conversations.
Mm. So wait, are we avoiding the hard conversations or what are we doing?
I think in most cases, yeah. Um,
What? Because are
I
we
don't know.
afraid?
Relationships are weird.
Are we afraid for the? Are we afraid to hear the real answer? Or are we just dodging so we can get what we want out of it until it's over?
I think I think we're afraid of hearing the answer that we don't want to hear.
Right. Mm. Okay.
Because, like we were talking about earlier, oftentimes people lie and manipulate and tell the other person what they think they want to hear
Right.
to get what they want.
Right.
So, but when you're having that real conversation and you're really trying to break down the situation and see how things are going to go, it kind of eliminates that.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. This is a vice versa question right here. Okay. Why? But I say more towards guys though. Why do guys hate communication? Now, it's not for everyone, for me, but like I'd say that like obviously I feel like when I was younger, definitely hated like texting. Even that like
Yeah.
even out to this day, I'm a horrible texter. Greg told me the other day, dude, I text your phone. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like I'm not one of your hosts. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
understand. I'm that's just me. I'm a very horrible texter. But you know that communicate. I think when you're in a more of a deepened thing, that communication has to be a step up. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Especially from the male side, because I feel like you are leading. Now there's some times where like things happen and she doesn't want to like she doesn't want to talk or you don't want to talk. You know what I'm saying? But in that
right.
case. literally that's just a text. It's like, okay, yo, I'm not feeling this conversation right now, or this and that, and then we'll talk later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think more than now than ever, a lot of things that happen, that happen in situationships and relationships is just there's no communication at all. Like, it's just, what I'm saying, not letting the person know how you're feeling, or like, you know, that's the way I see it. I think it's much of more of a hate. I think it's just more of a like they don't do it.
I think it's kind of how we're wired. See, women are a little more sociable.
Hmm.
Like they love to text their friends all day,
Right?
FaceTime, call.
Right?
Like even me, I don't really like. I mean, like I'll text you, but I'm not much of a caller unless like we're really like trying to plan something or like figure something out or we're having like a deep
Hmm.
conversation type of thing.
Yeah.
But I think like just growing up and like that's kind of how men and women are raised. Like women are raised to really speak their mind and tell every little detail about every little thing about their day and stuff like that. And men are more so,
Keep it in. Keep it in. Yeah.
yeah. And then on top of that, even when like when I text my guy friends, there's some friends I'll probably text once or twice a week, still my dog.
Hmm.
Um, but it'll just be like, hey, you try to hang out, and then like we'll go from there. But when texting women, it's more so like you gotta give them a breakdown of like how your day was, what you plan on doing later. Not doing nothing, all right, let's hang out. And then it's just more in depth.
Yeah. Hmm.
And
Okay.
then also, uh, this is kind of unrelated, but I don't think there's really a such thing as being a bad texter. I feel like if you want to talk to somebody, you're gonna talk.
No, but
I,
I'm really
I know
just
you
bad.
said you're a bad texter, but
I really am just bad at it. Like it's bad.
I mean,
Like
if you're busy, that's different. That's not really being a bad texter. You're just busy. Like everybody's always on their phone. Everyone has their phone with them at all times.
I'm also on D&D.
I'm on D&D too. I still text back. So I don't know. I
Hey,
don't know.
you're wildin'. Next topic. Look, check it out. Check it out. Check it out. We got double. Okay, we got double standards now. Okay, this is what we get.
Yeah.
We get a little real right now. Okay, we got body count. Okay.
Mm,
Okay. Oh, the double standards is like, why is it okay for guys to do this for girls, right? Why is it a double standards? You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
First body count. I think.
Well,
Go.
I think there's the double standard because ultimately, like as a society, we kind of give the consent to the women. So like,
Right.
not saying men can't revoke their consent or anything, but most of the time it's the women that are accepting or rejecting the approaches or advances. So I think that's why there's kind of this double standard because the women have most of the power. Not saying that men with high body counts are in the right, but that's kind of, in my opinion, that's kind of where that stems from. Like who's really controlling the interaction. So if you're the one in control of the interaction and you have a lot of interactions, it's kind of like it's just kind of like I guess I'll say weird, but as a guy, it's kind of like you're getting lucky in a way because you don't really have control over whether or not. I mean, you could do things like take her on a date,
Hmm.
do bad things like manipulate her into doing whatever,
Yeah.
but you have to put forth some type of effort, and you're not really in control of the outcome. Like you don't really decide what's gonna happen. So I think that's why there's that double standard.
But does the count affect how seriously you take the person? First of all,
Uh, I would say
because
yeah,
yeah, okay.
but so the reasoning for me to say yeah would be it's kind of like a character thing.
Hmm.
Like to me, a high body count says like you don't have a lot of self control.
Okay.
You don't make good decisions. You're not really careful trying to protect your mind, your body, and like your spirit.
Okay, listen, we all have a whole phase though. I ain't gonna lie. That's for everyone. Some of us tend to go a little overboard, but I think when it comes to that, it's hard because like we try not to judge. I personally try not to judge, but there always gonna be that thing in the back of your mind where it's like, you know, holy fuck, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it depends on what the number is too, because different people have different thresholds. Like some people say 10 is a lot. Some people say I'm cool as long as it's like under 30, under 50. Like, so it really just depends on the person.
Mhm.
Uh,
But why do you think that we let that judge where things are going? Because mind you, like we all change, we all evolve. So if that
mm,
was in the back, that if that was in someone's past, why are we letting that, you know,
well, it
it,
depends on that person, honestly.
it depends on
Like, it depends on that person. It can be the reasons, like I said earlier, like it could be like a character thing, you're judging someone's character. It could be insecurity, thinking that you're not going to be as good as someone in her past, maybe his or her past. So I kind of just think it depends on that person and how they are mentally, on whether or not. Because honestly, like some of my friends uh, who are like very confident, they don't really care about body count because they'll say, "Well, that happened before me, so it don't really matter." So that's the other side of it. Like some people honestly just don't care and it doesn't matter.
yeah.
As long as she cool, like I don't really care. Like her body count doesn't say anything about her character or anything
But
like that.
for the
So
people that do, is are we counting that as an insecure thing?
nah, I wouldn't say it's an insecurity. Like I was saying earlier, like it could be like you're trying to see someone's character, like and like how they carry themselves. So it doesn't always have to be insecurity.
Okay. We can relate this to like posting thirst traps and shit on TikTok. Because
Yeah.
because when because we're on TikTok, you got people that lip sync and stuff like that.
Mm,
And the you know what a thirst trap is when you see it. So, there's times where I've seen where it's like, oh, where I've heard it's like, oh, she's looking for attention and whatever, this and that. But it's like
yeah.
when the men do it, like, look, motherfuckers like, what's their names, bro? In 2020, Beck, fucking Bryce Hall, all them niggas. That's what all the niggas are doing. That's why they're millionaires today. You know what I'm saying?
With the
From
light skins.
taking gymless, shirtless, shirtless TikTok.
Yeah.
So it's like, why is it bad for women to do it, but when when they do it, like it's cool. I think I don't know. I think it goes back to what you were saying, like what you find like
Mm,
in a character. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, but obviously, thirst trap, you'll think about a thirst trap different than you think about a body count, though. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
you
And it also goes back to what's socially acceptable.
right. What's socially working,
Because
right?
you gotta think a girl posts a thirst trap, all her friends are gonna hype her up and like reinforce that action in a positive way. So, not saying thirst traps are bad or anything, but the woman might not think it's inherently wrong to
Hmm.
like post herself in that way
Right.
because she'll get praised for it. But
Hmm.
then guys, on the other hand, it's more so, I don't know, it's kind of just weird posting a thirst trap. Like, I don't know, like I can't see myself posting a thirst trap and then like having all the guys swipe up and be like, "Yeah, bro, you really did that." Like, I don't know, it's it's just weird. Like it's not the same. And that goes all the way back to like our first conversation, like how like women are more sociable and like just raised to look at other women differently than how men are raised to look at.
Okay. How about having opposite gender friends? Because I think we had a conversation on Thursday. I think it was
Yeah,
it's kind of like this, right? To I mean, I've heard this, but I think they were trolling. Like I think my homegirls were trolling because they'd be saying like, I have a lot of homegirls. I think we all have homegirls. I think um,
yeah,
to have that different opinion sometimes is not bad. You know what I'm saying? But to a certain extent, I've also seen it her where it's like, oh, guys be saying, oh, she's too friendly. So is there a difference between the being too friendly and having a lot of homeboys, right? Or like being too friendly and having a lot of homegirls?
Uh,
Or is that really intertwined? Is that really the same thing?
I mean, like I said, it would kind of be the same thing, but then you also have to look at like do they have any? Do they like just have homeboys and do they just have homegirls? And what is their relationship dynamic like? Like,
Hmm.
are they actually friends that like actually like go to each other for advice? Or are they like failed situationships that are kind of just
Just
hanging around waiting for their turn again? So if it's like actual friendships, then yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with having like homegirls. Like me and my homegirls, like we're actually just friends
right,
and like hang out as friends and like talk to each other like friends, like kind
right.
of like the guys in a way.
That's what I'm saying. Bro,
So
but it's like, but it, and literally, I remember when I was I think maybe like a week or two ago, I was in the gym, and then we were and then they were like, someone's, I think we were talking about this, and then the person said, um, like, like you wouldn't, like, you don't have homegirls, like what homegirl do you have that you're not trying to crush? To me, that
yeah,
raised, I was like, I definitely have homegirls I'm not touching. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
right,
And I think if I deemed you as a homegirl, it's confirmed I'm not touching you. You feel me?
yeah.
And I'm not trying to go for you. You know,
But
so when
that's
they
like
say
a
that statement, it's like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, oh, the girls are not like the guys. You know what I'm saying? The guys, like, it's the guys, but it's like when the girls, like,
yeah.
girl, you just know, like, it's not like a friend where, like, oh, yo, dap you up, yo, what's up? Like, what do y'all mean? It's not like that because it really is like that, bro.
Well, that goes back to like the whole character and maturity thing,
Right?
like having no self control, just having like ulterior motives. Like that's not really your homegirl.
Right.
Like you could have
Yeah, but
attractive
you gotta be
friends
honest
and
though.
not try to like want to be with them. Like they could just be friends.
That's what I'm saying. So that's where you gotta be honest though. But I think you're right though, because there was another conversation, right? But that person was saying like, yeah, like I have homegirls, like I've slept in the same bed as my homegirl and nothing happened for me.
No, that's insane. That's insane.
No, no, mental, like, bro. So
That's insane.
okay, but listen, like,
Sharing a bed is insane,
okay,
whether
but okay,
something happened or not.
yeah, same room. Okay, but what I'm trying to say is like I think it's just like you go back like you said like, the immaturity thing, right? I think that's where it lies. Um, so okay, the guys play on the first date, correct? Right? But I think more so that now we've all seen the little videos where like, oh, he took me to Cheesecake Factory for my first date, or he took me to this is not right. So I mean, like, that is, I think for the guy, like, wherever we go, it doesn't really matter. Like, I think that, like,
Yeah.
you know, as long as we're together. But why do you think like women have such a fixated thing like where they go? For like the first date and stuff.
Well, first they see it as more of like an effort thing and like how serious you're gonna take them.
Hmm.
Like if we went to McDonald's on the first date, not saying there's anything wrong with McDonald's, but like it's a first date and you want to try to impress the other person, and the girl spent 2 hours getting ready, picking on an outfit, asking all her friends what she should wear, and all you produce is McDonald's and then take her back home. That's kind of like a
But
spit in the
it
face.
shouldn't be low level, but it should be at least medium level. Because it's not like I'm taking you to
No,
I ain't taking you to cook,
not
right? So
not
it's like,
saying not saying the restaurant quality is the issue. It's more of an effort thing. Like she spent the whole day getting ready, looking forward to hanging out with you to take her on a date, and all you have is not really a plan. You just get food, and then you don't really talk much on the date because you're at McDonald's. I mean, unless you're like hanging out after that, but you take a ride home after. It's like you didn't even try, but you say you like me. So that's where that conversation comes from. But also, you have to be aware of like people trying to take advantage of you. because some
Sometimes
women,
I just want a free meal, gang. I know we see
yeah,
it.
a free meal or like they want to be like a status thing and like
Mm.
flex that yeah, I got them to take me to
Mind you, you'll take a picture of the food, but you won't take a picture of me and the food. Type
yeah,
shit.
right.
Right, right, right,
Right.
right.
So it'll be like a flex that like I get men to do this for me, like, and I ain't even really do nothing type of thing.
No, but I had a conversation
But
where like, where like my homie guy told me that like, she doesn't care what it is. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're trying.
yeah, it's an effort thing.
Right now, everything has to be about the bread. Like there was this thing in DC. What is it? Something like where the pink
The
flowers.
bottom trees,
Yeah.
the
What?
bottom trees, yeah,
Yeah. Right. So you know that's a dead idea.
yeah.
And
But
bread.
that's effort. That's
Right.
thoughtful, and
Right.
it's free, but it's thoughtful though because you're
Exactly.
spending quality time. You're taking her to some place that's like nice to see the scenery. You're gonna chop it up.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
it's
I feel what you're saying for sure. Cause like she
like
did.
it all comes back to the effort.
Nah. Right.
And
So.
then also when a girl really likes you and
Mhm.
like actually wants to be with you and not use you for a free meal or like
A
to
lot of
show
things around
status
it.
or like to flex, uh, it doesn't really matter what you do. Like you could take her to McDonald's and like chop it up and sit in the car after if
Mhm.
the vibes are right, but you have to have like some type of effort.
For sure.
Like it can't unless it's like last minute, like, hey, I don't know if you're busy, let's go get food. I mean, that's not really how you would plan a first date, but like we're in college, so
It's a little, yeah.
yeah,
So yeah.
that's kind of how it just happens sometimes.
So
But
what's the double standard you actually agree with then?
that I agree with.
Is there anything I agree with, bro? I'm trying to think too.
Double standard that I agree.
I don't think there's anything I agree with too.
It depends. I don't have anything like off the top
That's
of
what I'm
my
saying.
head.
Off the top of my head, I actually don't got anything. I thought you were gonna have some. So like off the
I mean,
top,
I guess like
I don't.
I don't know if this is double standard, but like you said, like the man paying for the date, like I agree with that.
For sure.
I'm not sure if that's a double standard, but
But there's no limit to what you have to spend on the first date, correct? Because, bro, I mean, I think
yeah,
they were trolling. I mean, they were trolling, but like I remember like TLT posted and then they asked this girl like, what the limit should be, obviously on the first date. I don't remember what she said, but it was something outrageous. But I think it was just trolling. But I think there's like reality, like obviously like what you can and cannot do. So I think that also goes into effect into picking a place and picking what you do. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So,
And that
um,
goes back to like having discernment to like understand if this person actually likes you or not.
right.
Because you could put in
Um,
the effort and take her to a nice steakhouse or something, but like if she don't like you, if she's just there for the meal, then you're kind of cooked.
It's motherfucking rhyme. But anyways, okay. So, all right. So we were actually talking about this on Thursday. All right. This is things that make no sense right now. We're talking about this on Thursday. Why do girls say I'm fine when they're not? See, what
Why do girls do that?
I've heard, and what I've been told is that she probably doesn't want to talk about it right now. She probably, okay, she probably doesn't want to talk about it right now. She probably doesn't want to be bothered with it.
Mhm.
She probably wants you to try to understand it more, what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So it really depends. See, the thing is like, right, with me, right?
Mm.
There's been instances where like that has happened, and it's like I'll take it and be like, okay, cool, like we're good. Like to me in my head, fine, we're good, right? That's the way I'm taking it. But then it's like, oh, you don't text for 2 hours. And I'm like, oh damn, something's wrong. And there's definitely something wrong.
So that's where you got to communicate.
Right, but then it's like,
And
why is that like communication not like, okay, I'm not fine? Why is that communication
well,
like I'm not good? You know what I'm saying?
it depends, like based on what happened before when she said that. Have you actually like listened to the problem, or you just went into problem solver mode? Because sometimes women don't really want you to solve the problem, at least not immediately. Sometimes they just want to talk about it and be heard and be understood. But I think men tend to just try to fix it because that's kind of how we work. Like if there's a problem, you just fix it.
Yeah.
And then if it needs to be talked about, we'll talk about it later or whatever. But women,
Okay.
most of
So
the time, they want to be heard first. Like they want their grievances to be heard, and then you get to the problem after that.
But
So I
sometimes,
think that's where,
so sometimes there is no fixing. It's just like being hurt. Like it's just human.
yeah. Like sometimes the problem, like she just want to rant about like having a bad day at work, and like she don't want you to try to be like, oh well, try to be more positive, like try to be nicer to your coworkers. Like she don't want that. She just wants you to listen and I guess co-sign whatever she says. But she just want to be heard.
Why I'll take guys and girls for this too. Why do guys and girls leave text undelivered for hours, but we're active? You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I think I
somebody's
said this
pissed.
before. I didn't say. I think I said this
Somebody's
before.
pissed.
I just don't think like Shorty wants you. You know what I'm saying? But
I
I mean,
mean, yeah.
it's really
I mean,
busy.
what's the context though? Like,
That's what I'm
is it
saying.
like you were just in an argument and it's like she left your last text on delivered, but she on Instagram and TikTok, or is it like the conversation got kind of dry
And then
and she's not really sure what to say, so she kind of just left you on delivered and won't talk to you tomorrow type thing.
but I think you're right. Maybe it is in the context then, because I don't think no one like, regardless of what, no one's ever just going like leave your text undelivered like that. And but they're still active. So you're right. I do think it depends on the text. I think it depends on the text. Why do girls okay. All right. Next thing is so we all stalk on Instagram. We all have stalker accounts, right? On Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is. We gotta be honest with ourselves. We gotta be honest with
And too
ourselves.
deep, and too deep.
Yeah. Why do we stalk, but we don't like to post sometimes, guys? Like we're just trying to see what we're getting into, or are we like,
I mean, yeah, it's always good to do a little background check to see
okay,
what the person is like
yeah,
on the internet, because sometimes people aren't the same, and sometimes they are the same. You can kind of try to figure out what kind of person they are that way. But if you mean like actually being a stalker,
yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Well, I mean,
I never like went on a burner. It was like, let me see her new post on the gram. Like, I
Burner's
never did that, so I don't know.
yeah,
That's not really
Burner's
a
crazy,
question.
yeah. Burner's
I never went on like my Finster or something. It was like, yeah, let me look up this account.
That's great. But do you think like sometimes we only show feelings when it's too late? Like sometimes like y'all been talking, y'all been vibing, you know what I'm saying? I think the hints are there to like, okay, maybe do this and do that, or ask her out, or do this and do that. And like like why do you think we show things when it's too late? In a way, the way I think about it, right? Sometimes I feel like again, it goes back to the trauma thing. Like, you know, maybe like you showed feelings too early, or like, you know, um you've put yourself in a situation where it's like it's easy to be hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
For some people, it's a power thing. You know, like you don't let her have that power over you, or don't let him have that power over you, because it's like, or the dynamic shifts. You know, it's really, and you end up getting hurt, and they don't. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
again, I don't really know when it comes to that, but so like,
So feel like it could be a trauma response
okay,
based on like past situations. Maybe you were expressing too much too early.
okay,
So now you kind of reserved, but now you don't express anything at all. And then when the disconnect happens, it's too little too late. So I think that's kind of how that happens.
okay,
Because I don't know, like some people, I don't really like believe in it, but like some people have like different attachment styles based on like their personality.
right,
So you saying how you feel could kind of drive someone away because it might be too much,
mm-hmm,
or they're not committed yet, but
right.
you're committed, and that scares them. So
Right.
it could
Okay.
be something
So
like
you don't
that.
want to show again, like you don't want to show too much early, because it's like that might drive that person away.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard to like morally be with someone and you could tell that they like you like way more, and it's like, well, I don't really feel that way yet. So do I be like a bad person and kind of just lead them on until I figure it out, or do I just kind of cut it off now because it's too much?
Wait, but I've heard this. So I've heard this. So it's like it was like we have to let the girl has to like the guy more for it to work. Is that It's not true.
I don't
That's
believe
true.
that's true.
Right? So
I think if y'all both like each other, no one's gonna ever like each other the same amount.
for sure, there's always gonna be that little.
So
Yeah, I feel you. There's
so
always gonna.
one person is obviously always gonna like the other more, but it shouldn't be like, well, the girl has to like the guy first for it to work. Y'all should both like each other. That's the only way it's gonna work, in my opinion. Unless you want to end up in like a toxic relationship.
Okay, I see what you're hinting at. I see where you're coming from. Okay.
Like no healthy relationship is gonna be like 70-30.
Mhm. But
Like I
but
like
also nothing is perfect though, because there's no such thing as perfect humans.
yeah.
No, there's no such thing as a perfect relationship as well.
Mm.
But I understand. Um, what do you think your gender struggles with that people don't see? What do you think our gender struggles with people don't see?
Uh I mean this is one that's kind of being brought to light more nowadays, but it's definitely mental health. I
Okay.
feel like you just never know what someone's going through. Like even me and you talking right now, like you could be going through it right now, like but we're having a regular conversation
Right.
and like men are really good at hiding it. And I would never know unless I really like sat you down and was like, do you really need to talk about something? So I feel like mental health is a huge thing.
There is that front that we put up, and it's like, it's not necessarily to like, it's I feel like it's the burden part. Like we don't want to be a burden. Like this that's why like sometimes we don't tell our significant other, or it's like this or it's like that, because we're trying to fix it
Yeah,
first.
like I'll handle it.
Like, without, what I'm saying, because like if because again, like if you are in that like relationship, like what affects me, look, it affects you too. So it's like if I can just fix it and not, and not have to like, distress you with it, I'll do it. I think another big thing is like just the pressure we have on ourselves. Not to say that women don't have pressure as well, but I feel like um the pressure we have on ourselves to like make it and like, have
Mm.
that stable home,
Like
like
being a provider,
for sure.
protector,
No, I
head of the
think so.
household.
And going to mental health, I think communication as well. I think just sometimes men like we're not necessarily the best communicators in the world. I
Mm.
do like I admit that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like again we're not perfect. It's not like girls are perfect communicators either. But I
Yeah.
think that's those are some of the things we do struggle with. So not always having the emotional energy to be to say what's wrong, and like we always try to act like everything's perfect, but it's not, and that's cool. So again, I think it just depends on like what's going on and what we're like okay with telling you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
We're okay with like letting you know.
And
What's
sometimes it's hard to talk about. Like,
That's what like
especially who are you gonna tell?
that's what I'm saying. Are they gonna understand
Honestly.
your point of view? Are
Yeah.
they gonna see how you see it? You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're
Are
scared
they
to
gonna
be
use it against you?
right. So it's like
So
I think that's why sometimes we tend to keep stuff on the inside, you know what I'm saying? Not as like, I want to, but it's like a defense mechanism, you know what I'm saying? That's
yeah.
just the way like some brains think.
And like you should always like bring your problems to God, but like
For
some
sure.
people need more than that. Some people need like actual therapy and like someone to give them a little like back and forth.
Hmm.
So that's something to think about too.
For sure. What's something you wish the other gender understood about you?
Sometimes
Right.
it isn't that deep.
You said what?
Sometimes it isn't that deep.
Yeah. Right.
Like I don't really have an example. It's kind of just like a general statement, but
Like yeah, maybe like the jokes or like, the way you took something, like sometimes just things are
yeah, or like sometimes like just like relaxing and chilling like doesn't always mean something's wrong. Like
right.
sometimes you're just chilling. Like it's not always that deep. I know we're just talking about mental health and like putting on a front, but like
Yeah. So, yeah, no, that's
sometimes
true.
the guy is like perfectly fine and like they're just quiet.
Yeah.
So I guess I would say like being quiet because I'm kind of more of a quiet person. This is probably the most I talk all day talking to you. But like sometimes I just be quiet and sometimes whoever I'm in a relationship with she'll probably take it as like something's wrong or she did something wrong or I'm going through something. And
Yeah,
honestly, I'm just
I'm just
enjoying the moment or like, yeah, just vibing. Like,
vibing. I think probably the other thing too is that like I'm not perfect. I think that's for everyone though, because it's like I feel like sometimes we hold our like past stuff against other people. They hold our past stuff against us as well. There comes to a point. There's a point of grief. There's a point of like just hashing it out. But if we're constantly going over it, if we're constantly bringing it up, it's like, are we really truly like making progress? Because it's so I think it's one of the things to understand like when it's not perfect. I'm gonna fuck up. You know what I'm saying? You gonna fuck up. I think it's just handle the problem and then we move on. We just find a way to move on. You know what I'm saying? Do you think social media made the gap worse with all that type of stuff?
yeah, I would say so. Overall, yeah. Like, social media has definitely provided an outlet for like certain people to have those spaces to talk to somebody and get the help they need. But overall, yes, it's definitely the phones. It's definitely the phones, social media. It really is though, because
I know you're right.
think about Instagram. Like all people do on Instagram is post the best versions of themselves, right? On like their main pages. So you're just constantly comparing yourself to other people and judging where you are in life based on where someone else is in life when your journey and their journey is completely different. So I think social media definitely has had a negative impact on,
On everything, like
yeah, mental
mental.
health,
Yeah, I feel you.
relationships,
Hmm.
even ironically communication.
Low key, right?
So
Okay. Okay. So we got a segment today. It's called Truth or Chop. I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. You must answer. It's either you must answer honestly or chop. Chop means skip. Okay. So you got two options. You answer honestly or you skip. Okay. Um, have you ever played someone you actually liked?
I would say yeah,
Okay. Why did you
definitely
call?
when I was younger.
Okay.
Like not in college, high school, I would say yeah.
High school. Okay.
Yeah,
You think men or women cheat more?
men or women. I think is I just gotta answer yes or no or like pick a side or
You
can I like
honestly, or
elaborate?
you answer honestly, or you chop?
So I think women cheat more. I don't really have a why. It's kind of more so like how we talked about earlier, like how like the women kind of have the power, so it's kind of easier. I feel like it's easier for women to cheat, so that's kind of why they cheat more. And then also when women cheat, it's more emotional, and it's not. And with men, it's more physical and like in the moment.
Hmm.
At least in my experience, like when women have cheated on like me or someone I know, it's been more like they'll go have like a whole relationship with the guy. But when guys cheat, it's kind of like a one-time thing. Like,
Hmm.
dang, I didn't even really like. I didn't
What
even like
what
her.
they're saying is they're replacing you. You're not enough.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah, I was joking. Um,
Yeah,
no,
I'm
you're right.
healed, so it's cool.
Nah, but I see what you're saying. I feel like I've definitely been in conversations where a lot of people say that, like, where it's more emotional for them. Um,
Yeah,
so I understand that. Um, would you date someone with a higher body count than you?
yeah, I have before.
See, that shows that I think that shows more like maturity than anything. At the end of the day, men and women might never fully understand each other, but that's what makes it interesting. Shout out to Ryan for being on the podcast today. I really do appreciate you.
Shout out to you for having me.
Really great convo. Really got to see where you stand out on some things. Follow, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time. I appreciate you again for being on the pod. And yeah, stay God bless, guys.